Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog tennis, and with us, head coach Danny Hunt. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Certainly the men's team continues to perform well. Busy stretch this past week, but you got 3 wins here as you continue conference action.
Yeah, it was good. First of all, on Tuesday, going down playing Grand Valley. Didn't really know whether that was going to be indoors, outdoors. The plan was indoors because we typically don't get it, or we're not able to go outdoors in March. But the weather broke. I think we got up almost to 60, and we were outdoors on Tuesday, and then went up to play Lake Superior State, Michigan Tech this past weekend.
Talk about how different it is to go outside, maybe for the first time in some time after you played all these indoor matches.
Yeah, it was a big difference. And luckily we were able to get 1 practice in outdoors before we went there. But it's a huge difference, the way that the ball flies, the way that the ball bounces, reaction time and things like that. And then you're dealing with the elements of the sun if it's out, the wind, and different things like that. So a lot of adjustments. Like I said, fortunately we were able to get outside and have a practice before we went down and played Grand Valley. But just one more time that we faced a little bit of adversity and the guys stepped up.
Certainly a big win, 8-1 over a Grand Valley team that's not only a rival, but a team that's been pretty good over the past few years in the GLIAC. Yeah,
most definitely. I mean, that's what we were talking about most of the week is we really gotta stick it to them. We gotta make sure we're focused. We no messing up at any flight, and going down there with changing to go outdoors. I knew that was going to play a factor because Grand Valley. They had played almost 10 matches outdoors. They were on spring break, went down and played in Kentucky and Indiana outdoors. So they were coming off of playing really, 10 match stretch of playing outdoors where we'd been inside. So that was definitely a factor that played into it. And yeah, I mean, going down there to Grand Valley as well, we know that it gets rowdy. They get a great home crowd that comes in, so we just talked about how we needed to focus on every single point. We kept telling the guys, ship can't sink if you don't let water in, so just not to let anything in, and the guys did a great job staying focused.
Continue that into the weekend as you made your Upper Peninsula swing to Lake Superior, Michigan Tech. Long trip, but fortunately your guys made pretty quick work of those 2 opponents. Got off to a great start both days.
Yeah, definitely, and it's tough too going up to Lake Superior State that you're going indoors, but it's a rubber surface with not just tennis lines, but you have basketball lines and things like that, volleyball lines. So that's always a scary match going up there, no matter how well your team's performing. Going up there and making sure that we make the adjustments, we make them quick, and then get off to a good start. So they did a great job there, and then making the 5-hour trek all the way up to Houghton, Michigan. A lot of times that can be a struggle too with having a team sitting in a van that long. But we got out, we were able to get some moving around on Saturday night. Woke up a little early, had a good breakfast, and went over there and played Michigan Tech. Got
a pair of 9-0 wins. Talk about how important it is for your guys, the top 4 guys in the lineup there, getting a pair of wins in all 3 matches this past week.
It's huge. We really just focus on executing. This weekend was all about having a game plan and executing. A lot of times, you're going out there and you have kind of what you want to do based on who you're playing, but we really focus on, with doubles is winning points in two shots. Serve, get the return, put it down. And making sure that no matter who was on the other side of the net, that we were focusing on the ball and taking care of points. So I think it was really big for our top 4 guys to be able to get both wins in doubles and singles.
We've got some guys that have stepped into some of those lower spots that are playing well, and certainly a chance against Michigan Tech to play 8 different guys who all contributed in the win.
Yeah. We have 2 seniors that are stepping in at 3 doubles that have been doing a great job. And then Daniil and Pablo continue to come off at 5 and 6, and we really, with depth-wise, we don't have to worry too much. I mean, when they go out there, they're pretty much taking care of business every time, which it's definitely comforting as a coach, knowing that you got those 2 guys going down there. There's such parity from 1 to 6 at any given day. We could have anybody lose to anybody and anybody beat anybody, which is really good for us.
12-2 overall, and moved up to number 15 in the national rankings here recently. Talk about what that means for the program to be ranked among the top 15 teams in the country here at this stage of the year.
I think that's huge. We talked a lot about just being able to compete on a national level. After last year and the team doing what they did, they really wanted to prove that it wasn't just a fluke. That we put in the hard work and we're here and we want to compete at that level. So I think having the ranking to recognize that is really good, but it can also be a curse too. Telling the guys all the time that the ranking, it's good, but it doesn't really mean anything. You know, when at the end of the day, when we go out there, it's just us and that opponent, and that's all that matters.
5-0 in the GLIAC, the only team left still unbeaten in the GLIAC. What does it take here over the next couple weeks to secure that GLIAC championship?
I think we just have to focus on the little things. I think at this point, our team as a whole, we have yet to play a match 1 through 3 doubles, 1 through 6, where, you know, every gear, we're clicking on every gear. We've yet to play where we're solid across the board, where everybody walks off like, yeah, that was a great match. So I think that it's really just fine-tuning and refining some things, focusing on the small things, and continuing trying to get better every single day.
This Friday, back at home, throw the records out the window. Northwood comes to town, and been a long-standing rivalry between Ferris State and Northwood in tennis.
Yeah, it's huge, and I think you're right on the money there with throwing everything out the window in terms of rankings and records, because when Ferris and Northwood go head-to-head, you never know what happens. And it'll be cool because we have a lot of alumni coming into town for the PTM banquet, which will be good for the alumni to be out there. I think it's just going to be a classic Northwood Ferris showdown, so I'm excited for it.
How important is it for some of your current players to meet some of those alums and players that helped establish the program here at Ferris State?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I know that it brings that sense of pride that I think was missing for a while. I think Chad Berryhill did a great job bringing that back and connecting old alumni back with current players, and I just think it's good to see that and meet and hear stories of the men and women before our current men and women that wore the Bulldog as well. So I think it's great to build that legacy, you know, and keep moving forward.
Obviously Northwood on Friday, but another tough match on Saturday. Wayne State. Talk about the two opponents this weekend, what you expect in terms of their play.
Yeah, Wayne State's going to be a tough out as well. Looking at some of their results, going 4-5 with Florida Southern, who has had some really good results against some top teams in the nation. So it's definitely going to be tough. I know Wayne got a couple new guys in as well, and they have a lot of guys contributing to their wins right now. So we're very fortunate that match is going to be home. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, this week's just all about fine-tuning.
How do you handle the conditions and determining whether you can play outside or inside here in the conference?
Yeah, it's through the GLIAC, we have a rule of 50 degrees. If it's 50 degrees or more, you can go outside. It has to be for 2 hours, I believe, of a 4-hour period. It also comes down to whether the coaches agree on it as well. So that's where we're looking at the weather, and knowing Michigan, that changes. So it's good, like with our win against Grand Valley in that match, that it was going to be outside. It ended up going outdoors. We only had a practice, so we know what it takes just to make that quick adjustment at the end. So yeah, there's a lot plays into it, but luckily we have some rules kind of established, and maybe we'll be outside this weekend. Who knows?
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs. 6-match winning streak and 12-2 overall, hosting a pair of big matches this weekend.
Thank you, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.